We're starting with a standard Korean broth. This one has dried anchovies called mirchi, onion, garlic, hot peppers, and daikon radish. The radish and peppers make the broth geunhit, which is a word that doesn't really have a good English translation. It implies something is refreshing and cleansing, but that thing doesn't necessarily have to be cold. It's the feeling you get when you step out of a really hot shower or after a good massage. Before using the anchovies, you have to clean them by splitting them open and taking out the innards. That's that black lump of dried organs on the inside. They won't kill you, but they do taste pretty bitter. Make sure to get it out of the head too. And the bones you can just leave in. Bring the broth to a boil and simmer for about an hour, and you're left with this delicious clear broth once you strain it out. This can be used to make a number of Korean soups or as a broth to make keranjim, which is a Korean steamed egg dish. Then add sliced onion and cabbage, as well as lots of grated garlic. This looks like a lot of vegetables, but it'll wilt drastically. Then add a heaping ladleful of gochujang and stir to dissolve. And as you can probably tell, if you're familiar with Korean cuisine, we love a little sweetness, so add a sprinkle of sugar. And brown sugar is better if you have it. Add a ladleful of soy sauce to season more and stir it in. Make sure you keep tasting along this process and just adjust it to your palate. Add more soy sauce and gochujang if it's too sweet, and if it's not sweet enough, obviously add a little more sugar. Dduk is the general term for Korean rice cakes. This brand of Dduk has cheese in the middle. And typically, Dduk is made of only rice, but these have some wheat flour, just a heads up for the gluten-free folks. The texture of Dduk is jjol-git, which is another word that has no good translation. It's the delightful, audibly tacky texture of perfectly cooked flour noodles, thick-cut pork belly hot off the grill, and that centimetre of bread right under the crust of a well-baked loaf of sourdough. Anyways, you can mix those right into the sauce frozen, or fresh if you can get fresh, and then simmer for at least 45 minutes to allow the sauce to thicken with the starches that are coming off of the Dduk. Add sliced fish cakes to the Ddukbokki while it simmers. These also add a ton of flavor. Then add a ramen noodle of choice along with the soup packets. Doesn't matter what ramen you're using really, as long as it's a broth-based one. They're all just MSG and yummy aromatics. Every Korean home-cooked secret ingredient is ramen packets, or we say ramyeon soup packets. Usually shinramyeon, but I was out of those. And once those noodles are cooked, it's ready to go. Definitely top with a hard-boiled egg. Ddukbokki is a ubiquitous street food often served with these fried seaweed wrap bundles of sweet potato noodle called kimmari, and it's always alongside a cup of fish cake soup broth, which you can make with anchovy broth, plus fish cakes, fish sauce, and soy sauce. You eat this all standing up under a tarp or maybe on a plastic chair with a toothpick, making ah-sha-sha noises because we like our food either piping hot or ice cold. No in between.